Good afternoon. Today we are going to look at the GovBuilt platform and its capabilities with permitting and licensing. One thing to keep in mind when reviewing the GovBuilt platform is that we had met with several municipalities prior to developing this and during our development process. And one thing that kept coming up was the requirement to be able to be configurable to meet a municipality's needs, unlike some systems that are out there that you are required to meet their needs. Some say they come 80% out of the box that way, and then they can only modify it a little bit for you, or it gets into some custom programming. For us, we are able to meet with you, learn your processes, learn your forms and your workflows, and then we can configure the system for you. As we go through this, you'll notice that we have capabilities to do different types of citizen profiles. Here's an example of one of our clients and their citizen profile. And here's an example of another client and their citizen profile. And they look pretty similar, but they can look very different if required or if needed. You can choose what power buttons you want, and you can choose the text that you show and also your menus. For example, in this case, they wanted to be able to show the list of licensed entities in the area, and they were able to do that quickly. Here is an example of what we call our Cloud Muni system. It is our portal testing environment that we will be walking through today. Keep in mind as I show you these items that I will show you a license and a building permit, and these can be customized for your needs. You are not locked in at all with the GovBuilt platform, and you have capabilities to modify things in multiple different ways. As I scroll down, you'll see that you have capabilities on the citizen portal to make it look in many different formats, and we can set that up for you. We also partner with UserWay to provide capabilities for you to have a fully accessible site and for you to have these features at no charge. First, we'll go into the Cloud Muni license. I'm already logged in today, so we won't go through creating an account. When I click on the Cloud Muni license, you'll see that I get a form that loads. This would be an example of a long form. A long form is called that because it is just one step in a longer form. And so in these options that we have for this form, we have the capabilities to give you a ability to put in descriptions and instructions for the form. You will see that you can make certain fields required or not required based on the red asterisks, and we can sanitize your data for you as it comes in. So for example, if I type in characters instead of numbers in my phone number, it will only let me type in phone numbers, and my box will not go away until I type in a valid phone number. If I type in an invalid email address, it will give me a message until I type in a valid email address. Out of the box, we connect to Google or Esri Maps or Bing for you, that you'll be able to pull in data. So as I start typing, it's going to geolocate based on my browser, and it's going to find addresses that match close to my location. Just by clicking on that, I can load that into my form and have the capabilities to be able to pre-fill other information. If it is connected to an Esri system, we can pre-fill things like your parcel number, your lot, your legal description. What I'm going to demo for you now is some of the controls and some of the capabilities of a complex fee schedule. So in this case, the fees were $200 for each of your business license. So we'll click electrical and building general. As I click those, you'll see that now it's a total of $400. I will now add a master, which is $50 for each type of license. So I will add myself as a master, and I'm going to be electrical, and I'm going to be a mechanical. You'll see now that I'm at $500. We also can give you customized controls so that you can add multiple people. We will add another person, and we will now make them a mechanical and a drain layer. And as I do so, you'll see my total income's up. You can also use these controls to prioritize items if you need to ask for a certain priority. And you can even remove items after you enter them by just clicking the X. We will go ahead and add John Smith back. And we will now make him a mechanical, and these are $30 each. You can see as I click, it's automatically $30. Plumbing, I click again and it automatically totals up for me. I can add more by just clicking add another. We are touch enabled and device agnostic, meaning that you can use our portal on any type of device as long as it has a modern web browser. So you can use it on an Android, iOS, or Mac OS. We recommend using Chrome, Safari, or Microsoft Edge, or Firefox. We give you nice controls for your dates and that you can select. We have a shopping cart that's built in so that your citizens or contractors can check out in multiple items if they need to, or if you're an admin, then you will be able to admin approve it and go through without a payment into the system. But we integrate with several different payment providers for the shopping cart, and you can see that I already have one item in my shopping cart. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the main site. And as I go navigate back to the main site, this time I'm going to click on the My Muni building permit. What is going to load up in this form is you will now see the capabilities on this form to be able to have a wizard form. You can see this one also has a list of instructions. The wizard form pops up and each step will show up here. This form is also what we call a smart form. So as I fill out different items in this form, I will get more steps that I have to fill out based on the results that I fill out. So for example, I can put in all my information at this point. I'm not going to show you that. You're all aware of how to fill out a form. So what I will show you is that you can use file uploads. So if I choose a building set, I can file upload. And we'll just quickly upload that. Then as I choose a project type, such as new construction, you'll see that my form changes. As I choose single family, my form changes more, and now it's asking for different details. If I choose basement, then I also have more details. The other thing that happened is now you have 5 steps that you have to fill out instead of 3 steps. Let's jump over to the contractor tab, and on the contractor tab, you'll see that we have a list of contractors, and these contractors automatically tie into our license platform and can pull from people that are already licensed, or we have the capabilities to connect to external license systems such as the TDLR, which in this case is AC contractors. And so if I type in, it will automatically autocomplete for me, and I can select that in my box. Okay. You can have the capabilities to add things such as, have I read these statements, with links so that you can make sure that they read these items, and different drop downs that you'll have the options to be able to add or modify afterwards without coming to us. The other thing that we have is up here at the top, we have this film form from previous submission. If I click on this drop down, you'll see that I have the last 10 submissions in this list. What this allows for is a contractor can come in to the system and they can choose one of their previous submissions. So in this case, I will click on this previous submission that I created, and it will automatically pre-fill this form with all the information that I have submitted previously, and allow me to go ahead and update that information and then submit another one, thereby saving your contractors and your citizens a lot of time. You also have the capabilities to set what cannot be pre-filled. For example, maybe you don't want to pre-fill like a detailed job description. You can turn that off in the back end. We will now move to our shopping cart, where we already have added items to our shopping cart. We have already added a building permit to our shopping cart. We have the capabilities to have a wish list where you can add items to your wish list that works exactly like an Amazon wish list. You can delete items out of your cart, and you can also just check out. So if we choose check out, it will pop up and we can ask to pay now. In this system, we are connected to the Forte payment module. You have the capabilities to take e-checks of regular credit cards, or even have a card present options such as a EMV solution with contactless options for Android Pay and Google Pay. As we fill this out, you'll see that I will be able to move on to my next steps. And this form is customizable inside the Forte Dex platform. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and enter my zip code, and I will click next, and it will show my payment. After I click authorize, it will go through and charge my payment, and I will get a pop-up that will ask me to go ahead and whether I want to view my receipt or I want to continue on. You can see my payment succeeded, and I can view my receipt by just clicking the view button. This receipt can be customized for your needs. The header, the footer, and also the details inside can be customized. I'm going to go ahead and click continue, and that is going to take me to my profile. This is still on the citizen or contractor side. Every citizen or contractor has their own profile. This allows them to see everything that they've ever submitted to your municipality and everything that they are working on. This could be licenses, this could be building permits, could be therapy, massage therapy licenses, it could be inspections process that you're going through with you currently for a existing permit. They have their own dashboard that they can view, and they can click on cases. As I click on cases, you'll see I have a list of cases, and I will have a lot of cases here on my test site, but I can go through and I can view different items. On the case list, I can see a list of all cases that I have submitted. Over here on the left, it will tell you any changes that have happened in green. I can see that there's been 17 changes in cases and 2 on my forms. Here on the right, I can see that this case number 689 has changed. As a citizen, I can click view case and I can see all the information that I have submitted. So here I can see that I submitted a vacant residential property registration form. And as I click view, I can view that form in its entirety. Based on its status, you can decide whether or not you allow somebody to modify this form. So if, for example, if it's in a submitted status, meaning nobody has picked it up at the municipality yet, then you can allow the citizen to make changes. If it's in a in progress status, you can lock that automatically. And they can also see the inspection list if you would like to share that information. And so if I click view, I can see the inspection form that is being filled out. As a citizen, I can also comment on this case, and I can see there is a comment on my case with some violations. We have a ability to have standard comments on the back end that you can post this in without having to go to a different section. They can also reply, such as was done on this, and let us know that this was taken care of. You can add files to these comments also. As I go back to the case list, we will now jump over to licenses. Licenses work very similarly. If I click view license, then I will be able to see my license as a citizen, and I can print it. This license can be modified for however it needs to look for your municipality. It can be in an 8.5 by 11, or it could be a card printed size, just as this is. If I click attached items, I can see those and I can comment, and I can also see all my comments, and I can click on attached docs and I can see any documents that have been attached. For example, this was a food truck license, so I can see a picture of the food truck. I can also see a picture of the inspector that's going to come out and look at my food truck. The other thing I can view is all my payment history that's in the system, or any upcoming appointments that I have in the system. GovBuilt Platform has a built-in appointment scheduling system so that you can take in inspections and other items that need to be complete. For example, if I click on the staff directory and I click schedule an inspection, I will be able to schedule an inspection, or it could be a plan review session, or it could just be a meeting with your mayor. In this case, I will meet with Leslie and I'll click schedule. As soon as I do that, it will let me choose from a list of dates that I can select from, or I can click cancel and view on a form. And I can go through and I can choose next, and I can find a day that works for me and highlight that, and it will pop up. At this point, this is a request for an appointment, just as the word says request. The person, in this case, Leslie, will receive an email with the request from the citizen. Leslie can either accept or decline, just as you would inside Outlook. If you accept, the citizen will receive an email of confirming the time and place. If you decline, then the citizen will also receive an email with the decline and will need to create a new submission. We can be used for many different items, such as code enforcement, vaccine signups, or just tracking your main details for your citizens to be able to know more about you, such as your staff directory, your FAQs. At this point, we are going to now jump into the back office of the system, and we will go to a admin portal by clicking on the admin. What will happen is it will load up a dashboard. This dashboard is customizable for everybody. I'm going to go ahead and choose the last 30 days. You can move around these widgets, or you can add new widgets by clicking the add widget options. I can drag and drop these in different places. I can also view. We connect to Esri out of the box, and you'll be able to view your items pinned on a map through Esri. Now, as you view these, you'll be able to have different pins based on the type of case that it is. You can see we have a dog, and as I click on the dog, it will bring up the details of that case for me. As I click on the building, it will bring up the details of that. And if there's more than one case, it will show up here, and I can click right there and view more. I can even have icons such as a police icon for code and violations, where you can see the violation still exists. As I come out, I can view more about my status and different statuses in here. I can see what makes up my in progress, and I can click here and view that case. I can see any appointments that I have completed or been approved during that time range. You can see that there's a status wait. There was one that was submitted that was not responded to yet. And there is one here for seeing a list of all items that I can click on the maximize button, and I can view these, or I can search inside here and find just the items that happened on the 28th. I can see a list of everything that's getting ready to expire. So everything that's expired within the year will pop up. My cases per day, I can click and see what makes up those charts and what makes up the details of those. This one is very helpful for finding everything that you need inside your municipality, where many back office people live, such as inspectors, is actually on our card view dashboard. As I click on card view, it will bring up a view of different tasks that need to be complete. I can view only my items or anything that I have access to just by clicking this box or unchecking that box. I can limit based on the status. If I only want to see a certain status, I can search by title or location, and I can limit by date range. If I click here, then I will be able to be taken right to that case. Inside this case, I can have case numbers automatically generated, where I can generate a new number just by clicking on the refresh button, and it will create a new number for me automatically. The case statuses and billing statuses and case types are completely customizable by you. And I can just click the delete, and I can choose a new status. And based on my status, different workflows will fire in the system. I can choose my location, my building type, and if there's a parcel attached to it. In this case, it is a building permit, and I can click on this building permit, and that will take me right to the building permit, and I can see all the details, including the plans that were submitted. If there are any admin fields for this form, I can click here. I can see and make sure that they paid for it, and I can assign certain team members so they are notified if there's updates. I can also make this submission private so that nobody can see it except the assigned team members. I can add notes. These notes can be set up so that only you can see these notes. If you're a admin member, you can attach standard comments such as a fence permit requirements just by clicking that and clicking insert. Then I can add my signature by just clicking the signature button, and I can ask for a payment if I want to ask them to pay online. Now again, I'm in the admin notes, so I can save this and then I can turn it into a public note just by clicking make public. At this point, once I click make public, then a email will be sent to that applicant notifying them that there is a new comment for them that they can come and review. When I save an admin note, anybody that is assigned to the case will automatically be notified of the new admin note. When emails are generated in the system, they are automatically attached to your case. If I look in sent emails, I can see the exact email that was sent when this case was created with the same link that would have been sent to me that I can now log in and view this case. I can view items such as responsible party or my public comments. We also integrate out of the box with ePlanSoft for digital plan reviews, where we can click and we can view different items for your plan, or we can connect right up to your ePlanSoft instance. You can attach new documents just by clicking the attach file item, and you can have new items such as a new fence plan that may have came in. And you can choose different metadata for this document as it comes in. You can choose that it is a building plan that you can give a short description for. You can choose whether or not somebody can see this on the front end or not, just by clicking on show on front end. And if it is an ePlanSoft, you can choose to process this or not process this. We are going to skip ePlanSoft in this case, and it will just attach for us. I can view this in a long form, and I can download this, or I can edit my metadata if I want to edit my metadata, or I can delete it. We also have the capabilities for tasks. Tasks come in very handy, especially during the plan review process, plat process, or a rezoning process. For example, I can create a new task for today with a due date of Friday, and I will add this to a certain person. So I'm going to say that Julie needs to complete this, that it's just in a submitted status right now, and that is of a type of a plan review. And then I can choose my fence plan, and I can leave her a note. Please review the new fence plan. And she will now have a task that she needs to complete. As I click save, you'll see that it comes into the system, and I can edit that and put my, when Julie comes in, she can edit, she can put her close date, and she can update her status as closed. Inside the case, you can also email out the case or download the case, or mark it as ready for billing if you're not billing in advance. This ready for billing can automatically generate your billing information for you, create a note, email the citizen a link to pay, and update any statuses that you need. It will customize that for you as part of the configuration process. When I click email case, I can email this case to anybody by just clicking on these items. I can decide whether I want to attach these in a PDF form. I can change my subject, and I can add more people to this by just typing in their email address. I can add my signature by just clicking on the signature button. And I can even come in and I can add a payment link if I'm ready to ask them to pay at this point and I don't want to use the ready for billing option. And then all I have to do is click send. At this point, we can modify different cases. You can have unlimited number of cases. So you can have a case for your permits, for your code enforcement. We will now look at a code enforcement case and how that will differ. If I go over to cases and then I go to code violations, I will see a list of all the cases. I will view the case 674. And on case 674, you will see there are same information up top, but different attached items. If I click on the attached item, I can now see all the details for this attached item. And I can see this date, the date the letter was created, and that a workflow was automatically fired that created that letter for me. I can have different fees, different mo details that I want to have tracked, and all this can be customized for your code enforcement needs. We can also generate your form letters for you automatically. As I click on this, you can see an example of a form letter that can be quickly printed, whether you're in the field or whether you're back at the office. As I click the back button, I can also add new items by clicking fill and attach. I can add new forms such as inspections. I can add new form letters to this, such as a invoice. If I click on this invoice, I can maximize this and I can automatically have it generate different invoices for me based on the capabilities of our form letter module. It can generate new permits for you, such as a notice to proceed, a certificate of occupancy, a simple building permit, any type of permit format that you can pull, you can create, and it can pull the details from any of the submissions that you've created or from the case itself. If I click view all submissions, it takes me to another tab where I can view this case, and if there's multiple attached items, then it makes it easier for me to click through the different attached items. If there's multiple, they'll show up here in different buttons, and I can view these just by clicking the different buttons. At that point, I can also download all of them, or I can just return back to the case. We will now look at how easy it is to modify a form. By going underneath Admin Tools, Advanced Forms, and Forms, I'm going to find an existing form that we have. I will take this vacation residential property registration form, and we will now modify this form. You'll see many details up top, such as the groups that this is available for. This acts as the permissions. So you can have forms that are only available for back office, available for citizens, or anonymously available. You can decide when you're creating a form who is going to be automatically assigned and who's going to receive the comments when they come in. You can segregate your forms into different types. You can create a permit type automatically when the form is created. Your form can create a license or it can create a case automatically. You can hide your forms or turn it into a payment form just by clicking the payment option. You can also add Esri. As I said, we are connected to Esri out of the box, and by connecting to Esri, we can allow you to be able to pre-fill information from your Esri online instance. We can customize our descriptions, our instructions, and they can be very detailed or limited. As I scroll down, I can see my form builder. My form builder has many control options, and I can click through here or I can click search. Right now, we'll just click and show you a little bit of the details of different types of controls you have. We offer unlimited support for you so that we can help you create these forms at no charge. We also have a training session where we will show you and we will actually build a form with you. What I will do is now add a new item to my form. In the property information, I want a detailed property description that I want them to give. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to grab a text area and I'm going to put it right on my form. As I drop it right there, it will pop up. And I will say detailed property description. As I type on the right, you can see that it's automatically changing my preview. I can go over to validation and I can click required. That will make it a required field. I can also make sure that they put a minimum length of characters. It could be even minimum number of words. In this case, we want to make sure they have at least a minimum of 10 words. I can even test that out. There are 10 letters. And I can test it out by clicking on this right here. I will go ahead and save this. And you'll see now that it has added here on my form. I can now click on preview and I can see what it will look like without having to save it. And as I start typing, you can see that I have a message. So now we can show that we are working on this detailed property description. And as I get to those 10 characters, you can notice that I no longer am required, or I no longer have a validation error on my form. You can also have a customizable admin fields that has its own form builder in the system. And as I click on modify admin fields, what you will see is its own form builder come up where I can drag and drop my own controls on here and have my own setup of for your admins to be able to fill out different information. We can customize different items. We can add things like additional forms. For example, if somebody needs to fill out an application for a license, if they're filling this out, this will require them to fill that out immediately following that, meaning you can daisy chain forms together. Forms can also be daisy chained based off of a value that they have selected in the previous form, such as a property address or a certain date that they have selected, or maybe it is a certain email address that you're looking for. You can quickly and easily move items around and have them fill out different details and optimize things for you. You can decide what is going to autofill for you. You can set your payment settings, such as your GL keys inside the payment tab. And you can also decide if you want a customized header and footer when this prints, or you can use the default header and footer inside the system. You can have a custom map pin for every item that comes in, and you can customize the confirmation email that comes to the citizen so that you can give them maybe more details. After completing this application, we will contact you to schedule inspections. And you can give them a list of the type of inspections. They're going to do a roofing inspection, a plumbing inspection, and you can give the links inside those. And that's what will go in an email to your citizen now that you have that. Okay. If you're a developer, you can come in and you can view the data that you would receive back from us if you were able to hit the API. So if you type in a date here, and we will put in a property inspection date also with a time of, let's say, 1 p.m. And then we will go ahead and we will put in an actual address. In this case, we will leave it in London. And now if I come over to the developer tab, I can see exactly the data as a developer that I'm going to get back when I call the API. So I can code up my endpoint without having to worry about wondering what it's going to look like. I can test out right on the screen. That's how quick and easy it is to edit a form and how you can modify a form. Next, we will look at our workflow system. The workflow system is very customizable. you have the capabilities to be able to create a lot of different workflows for different items. In this example, we have a workflow that is looking for a form that is submitted. And then when a form is submitted, it sends an email. The way our workflow system works is an event is fired or caught. And when that event is caught, it will end up being able to do many different things, but an event can be fired on many things, such as a user has been deleted, content has been created, content has been deleted, a user logs in. You can do many different items. In this case, we are just looking for a certain submission. After that, you can perform any number of tasks. You can even loop through tasks with a for loop. You can call different URLs using an HTTP redirect. You can make requests, or you can send a response for things like webhooks. You can send confirmation emails. You can also delete content or notify somebody, giving you a lot of different capabilities. In this case, we will just quickly add a new confirmation email. I will click the add button, and when I click add, it's going to pop up and give me the details. So I will give it a new confirmation email. You do not need to fill out the from or the sender or the reply to. You can add the recipients. We also support Liquid. Liquid was made popular by Shopify, and you can now use that in our system. In this case, I'm just going to keep this simple, and we will just put in my email address with a subject of confirmation email. I can add a specific body, or I can just use the body that was already existing. If you remember in the form, there was a body that existed. I am going to use just the body that already is existing, so I'm just going to click save. At this point, it shows up on my screen. I can click on it and turn it on. And then I can come over here, and once this email is done sending, I can now send a second email. That quickly, I was able to add a new branch to my email and able to send the new email to myself when a form is submitted. Also on workflows, we can do more complicated items, such as on a blight or code enforcement violation. There may be times after you post your letter to them that you want to change your case back to recheck so that it shows back up on your card view dashboard. We can do that by setting a timer, and every day it goes in and it looks at all the submissions. It does a loop on those submissions, and it will update that content, and it will just continue on through that list until it's done. Once it's done, you will now have a recheck card on your dashboard for you to relook at. We can also help you create workflows for any number of items. As long as something comes in on a form and it needs to be sent to somebody in an email or text message format, then we will be able to help you customize that, or we can just add something to their dashboard for them. Okay. At this point, we will look at some of our reporting capabilities. We offer many reports out of the box. We already looked at our dashboard. We will now look at our map report. Our map report is a report that actually connects to Esri. As it loads up, you will see lots of details that come up, and these are actual pins of different items that have happened. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the health boundary so it goes away. And I will now zoom in, and you can see different items. You can see the fact that it is now pulling in all the parcel data and the parcel layers. So I can come in and I can turn off those parcel layers by just unchecking that. And now I no longer have the parcel layers. I can turn off my permit points, and so I can clean that up, and now I can have different details. As I click on these, they will show data for somebody that has been whatever data is in the parcel database. We can pull the data out of your Esri system, and actually we connect to live. So pulling data is not correct. We actually connect to it live, and we pull that in when you click on it. From here, you can even add a new form right from here that will pre-fill with all the information for you. You can limit these reports and you can create different reports based on cases, forms, or parcels. We also offer many other reports with the report builders. We have a simple report builder and an advanced report builder to help you. These reports can be exported in CSV format or PDF format for you to be able to take the data outside. You can see a simple type of report that can be created, such as your sent email. This will give a list of all your sent emails, and as you click on those, you'll see the exact email that was sent. We have a location report where you can find all the locations of everything that was ever submitted into the system. And you can filter it by a certain address. So that it gives you the capabilities to find anything that has happened on that address quickly. We can see that there has been 3 cases that have on this 1200 Main Street. I can go over to my map view and I can see where those are. And if I click on this, then it will come in with those and I can jump right into that case. I can also click here and jump right into that case, or I can click on my map pin and it will take me right to that for me. I can also limit these by cases, license, and parcels. We have a full parcel genealogy module that will track all your parcels. We also have a full licensing module. The licensing module acts very similarly to the case module. I will show you quickly a license and some of the capabilities. When a license comes into the system, it will have the capability to create a new license. You can have subtypes on those licenses. You can have multiple subtypes. For example, a lot of times we see a trade license, and inside the trade license, you will be an electrical and a mechanical. In this case, we are a food vendor. So if I come down to my attached items, I can view my attached items just like in a case. But I also now have this license tab where I can click license and I can print my license out. I can keep track of my genealogy or my parent and child contractors underneath the contractors tab. I can see license details underneath license details, such as your test score and your liability insurance date. I can see the contact information if there's any listed. I can attach any documents and I can add any admin notes. And I can also comment back and forth with that licensee. And it would be whatever licensee is the email address for that license person. They can come in and they can view the system. The system will also automatically send renewals for you. As you can see, we have a renewal status. We have the capabilities to set it up based on your license type or your license subtype. A renewal will be sent so many days prior to the expiration date. You can also manually do this by going to our license renewal tool, seeing what license are getting ready to renew, checking on those licenses and clicking send auto renewal. Each license type has its own renewal form that you'll able to select on that license type when you're creating the configurations. And you can have your different license format per license. For example, this one has a different prefix and suffix than this one does. You have the capabilities to manage those in the need to fit your needs. We have many configurations, such as adding new license types, new license statuses, or subtypes, and you can have your different renewal statuses. There are many other capabilities in the system, such as our portal tools that we will not go into today, that we will create a new video for. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at support@govbuilt.com, and we will be happy to answer those for you.